Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live Level Up Academy. So, I wanted to bring something up right now with this featured. People are asking me, a couple of people actually asked me, like, what does featured means? It means that my show and my business and myself has been featured in these areas. There's going to be more actually that I'll be adding in here between now and July. So watch out for those features. I have been featured in LA Weekly podcast to be listening to in 2023, top 10 podcasts. I have been featured in Mentors Collective. I have been featured in Baby Boomer as an expert. And also shout out DFW as far as that's concerned. There's another magazine coming up, Leading with Soul, and of course, our book that's coming up in July. So watch out for those. Anyhow, without further ado, let's go ahead and start the show. Okay, so this is our June cover for Shout Out, and here's my intro. Welcome to Level Up Academy podcast, where we explore the diverse set of skills that can be applied across various industries and professions. Each episode will deep dive into the world of transferable skills, discussing topics like communication, problem solving, critical thinking, and more. Join us as we speak with experts in different fields and share stories of individuals who have successfully transferred their skills from one industry to another. Whether you're a recent grad, a mid-career professional, or someone looking to make a career change, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and let's discover how you can leverage your existing skills to excel in any industry. Welcome to Level Up Academy podcast. This is your host, Dr. Leland, a serial educator, an opportunities designer, and a compassionate leader. What? Hello, everybody. One of my friends are like, you look so sad yesterday on Donald's show. I was sad. Lots of things happening in the background. All I can tell you is the topic today is very important because it is all about integrity. And this guest of mine has the most wow integrity, okay, I have seen in my life. It's been a whirlwind coming to LinkedIn and all the social media platform. I wanted to give you a caveat that you have to watch out for people who are eager to add you in groups, who are eager to be your biggest supporter, who talks about authenticity a lot, who talks about community a lot, but they're not able to be authentic around you or around your friends. And also almost like borderline harasses you for a conversation, but not want to open up their video. If you can't visibly see someone on a Zoom chat, walk away, right? You're not important enough for them to open up that video and get to know you. There is no conversation because we have to be very careful in this day and age, right? Because there are so many fake people out there. So you got to be careful. Like Donald Cohen show yesterday, he said the people that are the loudest, the biggest people that talks about authenticity a lot and being caring are the people that you have to really watch out for, especially if you have not talked to them. Okay. So let's level up today. Let's talk about integrity. Are you guys ready? First, I really have to show you. Hold on one second if I can show you here. This is what I want to show you. Nicole and I have a 50 inspirational connection project. This project you do not pay. There is no pitch slapping. There is nothing you'd pay for this one. What I am trying to do, and I enlisted Nicole, and she's been so kind to go with my project. And I have a lot of brothers and sisters behind this project as well that's helping me push, is to elevate you and your story to the world. And you're like, well, why would you do that? Because I am wanting to get my community to be in a positive light. Your story is important to you, right? Your mission and vision, whatever that is. And if you don't have one, create one, okay? Ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What do you want to do with your life, right? It's one thing to to work for somebody, but it's another thing to work on yourself daily. This is your chance to elevate yourself. And you're like, well, who are you to elevate me? I am Dr. Leland. That's who I am. I have a podcast that's in 70 nations and countries and 6 continents. And your audio, I will have an interview with you in a panel, whoever is in the 50. Remember that if there's over 50, there's a possibility that you could not be on that list. So for me, do not wait. There, you have 24 days left, 24 days. And do not wait for that opportunity, because opportunity only knocks once sometimes. When that door is shut, it is shut forever. So my question to you is, are you branding yourself right now? You're like, no, I don't own a business. Right. But you're looking for a job, right? So how do people know you beyond the screen? How do people know you beyond your resume? You are more than those resumes, by the way. This is it, right? I feel like I should just dance like this is it. Anyway, I'm not going to dance and sing today, but that is the project we're trying to do. 24 days, people. All you got to do is get the form in. I only see those forms. Nobody in the world will see those forms. So whatever you put in there, it is private to me and you. That's it. The video, however, for 5 minutes, it will be blasted. So please do not curse. Be professional as much as you can. Okay, Dr. Newbie, I'm talking about you. And her F list. She's so funny. Anyway, go ahead and you'll be blasted in my global summit coming up in October. You'll be blasted on my panel. We will have a show. We will rock that show because we want you to be elevated. There is no catch. This is not a sales pitch. Like, I'm going to have to do this for you so you can buy it. No, there is no sales pitch. I literally want you to be elevated. That's what I want for my community, because I expect positive things happening. This is your opportunity to be shown, and that's it. So shout out. Hello, my sister. If you need graphics, guys, come on. Nicole is the best. She's also doing writing and content writing. Okay. The Gifted Bipolar Writer is her business. Enough said. DM Nicole or ask her to be in your corner. Come on, sister. She's the first one, by the way. Thank you very much. If you need any digital content, you need production, you're thinking about, I want a live stream, ask her for information. She does only most of the time businesses. That's what she does, because she's on the high end of the spectrum in terms of price sometimes, because that's what she does. But I know that she has a big heart, and she will help you out. I will help you out in terms of getting information on when you can start. The more of us out there that's spreading positivity, the better our community and our world. But no fakers allowed, okay? No fakers allowed. Hello, Raquel Flores. She has her own show. Sia, okay, Sister Sia has her own show on Tuesdays, and it seems like every day lately. I can't keep up, okay? That's why she has a calendar on Brilliant Beam Media website for everyone's show. Sister Raquel, thank you so much for talking to me on Friday. I was about to lose my mind. Literally, be lucky that she reached out to me and I called her, because I would not be here. LinkedIn would have been deleted. I was so frustrated with life, with LinkedIn and fakery people. But I bounced back. I'm aligned. I'm good. And we're good to go. But she has her own show on Saturday, so watch for her show. Sister Christine is on our creative group. If you're not connected, please connect. She's an amazing educator. 30 years of her life, okay? Forming those little minds, your kids out there. Now, Susanna Dawn, her audio for my interview on International Women's Day is out. I gotta tell you, something's fishy with my website with the audio, because I posted it on Saturday and then it got deleted. And then I reposted it last night. Hopefully it sticks. But she is now officially in 70 nations and countries. She's on iHeartRadio. She is now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts with Stephen Ng. Okay, so make sure you guys listen to her show and her story. And she also has a show with Paul on Wednesday, right after this one. We will be heading that way. Natalie, my sister, she's creative. We're going to be collaborating. I'm making t-shirts for our creative group, and it is her painting her painting. Okay. I'm creating a sister circle notebook you can buy on Amazon now, by the way. Her painting. Okay. So amazing artist. Please connect with my sister Natalie. Dr. Newbie calling and paging. I know you're probably like online, but you're really working. So I will talk to you soon for sure. If you have not connected with Dr. Newbie, she has a show at 12 p.m. PST every single Monday run by Russ. Okay. And hello, right? I feel like Mike is so young, but like I feel like he's like I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna get in trouble. YouTube might delete me, but I'm not gonna say it. But like he's like the dad up there, like the conglomerate, right? Right? Okay. If you are actually confused, what is the hounds of business? Do you guys howl? Yeah, sometimes we do. Especially if Sia has sippy sippy, right? For sure. But if you are curious what is hounds of business is all about, please talk to Mike. Just talk to Mike. Just say, hey, CJ sent me. Half 50% he might say, okay, I'll talk to you. 50% I'm like, I don't know, man. CJ sent you. I don't know. Oh, our king for the day, Mr. O. Please DM him, connect with him. He's an amazing person. You get to know him today. So I'm not going to talk more about him because you're going to get to know him today. Donald, hello, every day, 8 a.m. PST, right? PST because it's my time zone. So you guys figure out your time zone. If you're CST, it's gonna be 2 hours. If you're MST, it's gonna be 1 hour. If you're EST, it's 3 hours. So Donald shows every single day, 7 days a week. Stephanie Delfonso. This is her book. Oh, jeez. I don't know if you could see. I have her book. Stephanie, thank you. She's so amazing. She helps you calm down. Okay, calm down those monkey minds everywhere in your head. All that doubts, all that trauma, all the what ifs. Oh, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. The imposter syndrome. Yes, it just DM Stephanie. Tell them CJ sent you. Christine, my sister from another mother who is always out there making sure that the gap of communication between the educators, the students, their parents, she's it. She's bridging that gap. Michelle Giuliano, I've known her since 2015. She was one of my students in a master's program for health. And she's an amazing human. She's a transformational coach. She's lived through domestic abuse, divorce, moving. I mean, you name it, right? And she is still here smiling. Hello, DM Michelle. Christian is my animator, amazing 2D animator. So if your business needs that little oomph, go ahead and DM Christian. He's might be a little busy for his DM right now because he's on, I think he's had an exam on over the weekend. So hopefully he did a really good job. And then Timothy, my brother from down under. I love having a conversation with him, and he is full of life. We just had him last week in terms of the level up. So please connect with Tim. He is an amazing human, and he's funny. I love fun in my life. Paul, my brother from another mother as well. He has a show right after mine. He has really good information in terms of his adversity and what he's learned from his life. And he is supportive. He's supportive of everyone in our show and our community as well. And Lonnie Ray, wow, thank you for the conversation yesterday, putting perspective, giving me energy. And I told you I'm done with my pity party. I just need 2 days to align myself. And after 2 days, I'm like, I got bigger things to do, right? And thank you so much for being there for me and having those conversations while I was driving everywhere yesterday. I appreciate you so much more than you know, right? Give Lonnie some love, guys. We all need it once in a while. Janice, our inventor. Hello. If you don't know Janice, go ahead and DM her, connect with her, and then ask, what is Tossie? Okay. And ask that question and she'll tell you for sure. Peter Quayle is one of the greatest business leader out there that I have spoken to about really in terms of how to take care of your people as a business leader and how to make sure that you are on top of things, how to scale up slow but steady. Okay. Peter is your man for sure. Jennifer Sharp. amazing. She's going through a lot right now. Please give her some love. I won't say whatever it is. Just give her some love. Just say hello. DM her. Say, CJ said we need to give you some love. She's an amazing human. Yes, I video chat with her. Okay. Most of these people I have video chat with. Okay. I've deleted people I haven't video chat with for sure. Mr. Lee, I'm going to give a shout out to this lady. Amazing. She also needs some love right now. Give her some love. She's going through stuff as well. And she's an amazing human, very caring and very giving. Okay. She's a publisher for the book that's coming up in July for our creatives group. That is Christine, Nicole, myself, Natalie, and Susanna. Now, Deborah, my energy sister, where are you? She is the first one that will give me some amazing news about herself, what she's doing. I love to hear from you. So DM me what you're doing. And Deborah does that for me. She gives me really good juju energy. Lachelle, 15 kids. Enough said. If you can handle a business and a 15 kids, bow down to you, right? And get curious. She's everywhere. She's on Clubhouse. She's on LinkedIn. And she will tell you her story. And it's very inspiring. And you have no excuse, whatever you're going through after you talk to Lachelle. You're like, yeah, I got to get going, right? Johanna Renee, I love art. And she does have a show every Tuesday. I'm not sure what the time is, but if you actually go to her and ring her bell, you'll be able to see what time she will be on. Catherine Chadwick is coming up in our conversation soon, and you'll also get to know her story. I love her bikini story, by the way. You're like, what? That's inappropriate. No, it's fine. It's a business, actually, conversation. You think it is. See, you're judging the book already. Don't do that. Catherine's amazing human. We'll have a conversation soon with her. Jackie Lee, if you're not connected with her, please do, right? She has an inspirational story. It's on my YouTube. If you have not seen it, review it. Soaring Profits, yes, please, guys, follow their page, their business page. There'll be a lot of fun stuff happening soon with them as well. Dale, hello from the UK. Him and Dr. Noopy actually are in that side of the world. And Dale's funny, and I love his accent. So for sure, check him out. And Cynthia, where are you? Are you here, Cynthia? And Cynthia and I are chatting all the time, and she tells me what she sees. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, spending time with me on a conversation. And I hope that you'll hear soon from whatever endeavors that you're trying to get. And Mike, if you're watching, thank you. I mean, look at this book. Can't see it, huh? Look how thick this book is. Hello? If you're looking for a job, by the way, or if you're a college student, or if you're trying to get a resume, I mean, hello, this book is full of information on what kind of occupation you would need. If you're an industrial hygienist, like what? Insurance adjuster, investigator. Let's see, what else do you have in here? Professional body piercer. Yeah. There's a resume for you as well. Okay. I mean, like literally art model. Okay. So anything that you need, this book has for you. So if you have not have it, it's on Amazon, guys. And Mike is the guy for you to ask questions in. Now, sorry. Okay. First of all, I love her. Okay. This was our first time Zooming. And I've learned so much, and I'm hoping that we could collaborate more on some really cool things to stay youthful, guys. I'm not talking about surgery either, okay? Youthful. So it will be coming up, but I wanted to share something first. Look at this. This is what we did in our Zoom. We just had fun, okay? Look at this. Look at this. No makeup. Like, hello? Yeah, we were really having a good time. Can you see this? We were at the cafe. I mean, we were everywhere, right? Look up. Do you find me? Do you see me? We had a good time. Thank you, Ferlin. That really made my day yesterday. So we are leveling up today. But enough of that. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for my people? Usually I do like 15 minutes of shout out, and I'm 4 minutes late. Jesus, I talk too much. So I'm just really happy that you guys are here. But are you guys ready? Is the question. Hello, brother.
I'm very
Guys,
good.
guys, he is
Thank
nervous.
you.
He is nervous. So, can you guys give him some love? Like, he's like, I'm nervous. This is my first time, and I don't know what's happening. Just shake it off. Like I told him, like dance, scream. We're gonna do karaoke.
I stretch the beat. I stretch the beat. So
He-
but I mean it's my very first time on a platform this huge, and it's not just the platform, it's the feeling that has come with it. The way you've related with me for almost a month or so now is just incredible. So it's not just a platform. So if it was like a professional platform where I've been invited to, and I'm supposed to just speak professionally, I mean, I would be professional, but I have a lot of feelings, connected with these, because of my relationship with you. So that puts some pressure on me to make sure that my coming in adds value, to your program, because that is what family does. I'm not supposed to come and then your rating goes down. I'm supposed to come and the rating, goes up, and then people are talking about it, so that matters to me. That's the least I can give you back, for the recognition, for the kindness, just for being so awesome, really, you know? Yeah,
See, I'm dancing. I'm
really.
dance to the music. See, I was
You
like,
should
oh
see
Lord
me
God Almighty.
dance. You should see me dance when I'm not on camera, you know?
Oh, I'm gonna put a camera and turn it on. I'm like, oh, brother's dancing
Oh,
over there.
I'm 70s, They gave birth to me in the 70s, So Marvin Gaye, Smokies, Bee
Ooh.
Gees, But I
Oh,
do
I
those
love Bee
things
Gees.
like,
ABBA,
oh, yeah,
Journey. Okay, we're gonna.
cool,
I mean, like, we are
cool.
gonna be here. Oh my gosh! I just want to highlight all those people. Lenny. I love you, sister. Thank you so much for the conversation yesterday. Crystal, I think you're new. Hello. I have not seen you. What's up, sister? Okay, so while I'm highlighting some of this conversation, I'm going to
Yes.
ask you this question, brother. Think back 20 years ago and find within your timeline some of the significant changes in your life that got you here where you're at today. I know you have a lot of timeline, but just 20 years and then today, like the in between that's huge that made an impact on your life.
Okay, I've never shared this with anyone, with anyone. Um, One of the most traumatic experiences I ever had, that was like a change in my life. I grew up in a relatively well-to-do family. My grandfather was a highly recognized lawyer, very wealthy. My dad had gone to Denmark at a point in time, you know. So I was my granddad's first grandchild. So I was spoiled to a certain extent. So I had everything. I never knew what it meant not to, for toothpaste to run out in the bedroom. I just go to the bedroom and there's toothpaste there. I go into the bedroom, there's bathing soap. I never lacked for anything. And then in 1994, he passed away. And in Africa, in Nigeria, this is a man that this is what he does. When I come back from school, he would come outside and then he would wave his hands, like this, calling my name. And I'm talking about in the 70s. I was given birth to in 1972. So I'm talking 78, 79 when I was in primary school, elementary school, And when I see him, I would run to him. And then he would take me into his sitting room. He had two buildings in the compound. My dad, being his first son, was living in one of the buildings, the entire building. He was living in another one. And I was the only one who had access into his sitting room. I was the only one who could switch on the TV in the 70s. Yeah, any other person, he would, he would give them a piece of his mind. So what my uncles would do was that they would come to me and ask me to go and get the key. You know, all those TV sets that had doors, and then they had a key. And he passed away in 94. And I've been very, very private about this. But I will share this because it's you. My parents got divorced in 96. I was 24 years old. And because my granddad passed away, a lot of things, because we're in Africa, we're Nigerians, when a very wealthy person dies, we tend to have extended families. People come from different places, and then I suffered the first reversal of fortune that I'd ever experienced because things were never the same. My mom and my dad got divorced. I had to get a job in 1996. I got a job as a personal assistant to the medical director of a hospital. So at 24, I had to start working because then I had to start buying things myself, toothpaste, toiletries. I had to buy food. Sometimes I would have to go to the houses, of some of my neighbors so that I can eat. It was that bad because I wasn't earning so much. So that was a major, transforming experience for me. The second one would be the one I went through in 2012. When that happened, when I lost my job in the bank, I don't think I would ever recover from it. Not in the sense that I'm not strong, because what doesn't kill you, we say that over here, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, and the truth is that every day, psycho-emotionally, I carry those scars around. Now, what those scars do is that they don't make me weak. They don't make me sad per se. They make me strong. But the thing is that I'm not who I used to be. I'm conscious of that I'm different now. There's no way I can go back to, because the way I see things now is different. I'm calmer. Peace means more to me than anything else. I'll just walk away if there's going to be a problem, because I know how valuable my inner peace is. So I lost the job. When I was working, I could go into practically any store. I was that well paid, because I was blessed. I was known as a whiz kid, with computers. Once they call people in IT and they can't solve the problem, almost everybody would then come to me. And then there's something about me with computers, and a lot of people don't get that. That's why sometimes I wonder why I'm actually not employed, because this is what happens. It's almost spiritual. And it has always been that way right from when I was young, me with gadgets. My dad was an electronic engineer, So right from when I was young, I'd been used to him soldering these, him taking things apart, using meters to measure things and all that. So the thing with me with computers is this. Once a person has a problem with the computer system and I take the computer, it's almost as if it tells me where the problem is. It always amazes people. I had a head of IT when I was in Oceanic Bank before they moved me into, they were so impressed with my creative abilities and they created a group, under me, because originally when I joined them, I was in IT, I was a supervisor, just a junior staff. But they found that when they call the head of the IT, when they have a problem, desktop, user support and all of that, he wouldn't be able to solve the problem. So, but when they call me, immediately I come in, it's like, I just do it like, okay, this is it. Oh, all right. Thank you, Shay. And then, I go away like in minutes. But now the thing is that the reason why that is so is because it's not a job for me. I loved computing. I was going to read medicine. I was a straight A student in school. In Nigeria, when you're a straight A student, when you're brilliant, the family, it's given. They just expect that you're going to read medicine. And that was what I was going to do. I had A3 distinction in biology. I loved biology, chemistry, and all of that. But then in 1991, while I was in school, in boarding school, in high school, they introduced a computer department. And for the first time in my life, I saw a computer. Because I was one of the top students, the person who was responsible for the department made me the coordinator for that particular department. I've never looked back since then. It was MS-DOS in those days, the codes and all of that. And I'd always been afraid of blood. I'm a very queasy person. So my plan was that if I was going to read medicine, so I was going to do research or anything that would not involve surgery. I can't, even when I'm watching documentaries, I feel like I'd faint if I see hearts actually beating during open heart surgery and all of that. So I already knew that if I was going to do medicine anyway, I wasn't going to practice, like surgery. I could do some wounds and all of that. So immediately the computer thing came in, I just switched to computers. So when I lost the job, it was a really horrible experience. It's sometimes even now when I'm sitting down, even though my situation in life is so much better since 2019, by the grace of God, without any prejudice to people who do not ascribe to that faith, it was just something else. I moved from the bedroom flat that I used to be in with my family, that ability to walk into any store to buy anything, and when I walk in, they give me that recognition because they know, I can buy anything. And then, at the end of the month, they know that when I'm paying, I'm probably even, tipping them some extra and all of that. I could take care of my kids. I could pay my daughter's school fees because I only had, one. At the point in time, then there were three of them. We ended up in one room, and because of the way that I was brought up, which I feel has helped to a certain extent, to contribute to the kind of person that I am. The place we ended up in, I couldn't allow my kids to go out all the time and play, because it was basically a ghetto, and a lot of horrible things happen among the kids because they are unattended. The parents leave them. You have kids playing around with their genitals and stuff like that, and things like that I have actually seen. So I try to keep an eye. So when I want my kids to play, I actually take them outside and go to the back of my room window so that they can play there and I can keep an eye on them. It was hell. I had a couple of friends in the United States, people that I will never forget for the rest of my life. And if I get to that point, I must see them at least once in my lifetime so that I can hug them and tell them thanks. People who would send me $50 to buy food stuff. I have pictures. I would take the $50 and then I would go and buy food stuff. I put the food stuff on the table, take pictures of it and send to them. So that they would know that the money they sent to me, I used for what they asked me to, the reason why they gave it to me. People like Brian Zina, people like Rebecca Erb, wonderful people.
So
Those two
amazing.
people, we were starving. We were
Yeah,
starving. The kids, 3 kids, 3 kids.
my heart is so
It's,
broken.
oh no, it was, no words.
Brother, I
It
want
was
I
something
want to go
else.
back to the conversation we had when we
Yes.
first met, right? Like how we
Yeah.
first met.
Yes.
My heart literally moved me in that room because there were so many people in that audio room. And
Yes,
I
indeed.
saw so many disrespectful people on LinkedIn in that conversation. I was actually in awe that it kept going and it wasn't controlled where it should be. And it breaks my heart when people, adults, okay, adults, when you have a conversation And it's I like conflict. I always tell people conflict is good, but you have to have boundaries and you have to have threshold. And I think
True.
the boundaries and threshold on that room that we were to was not good. Um,
Mm.
it was tried to pull, but people were so disrespectful, and my heart just, I was like out of breath when I heard you speak. And you were actually the first one that I've seen that has so much passion about integrity. And that's why I wanted to bring you up today, because living with integrity and the path to authenticity is hard, right?
It
Especially when you're
is.
surrounded with people who just wants to
Oh,
pull you down. And they're the loudest
absolutely.
and they're the meanest and they're not actually authentic or have integrity. So this is my next question. How can you, okay, stay true to your values and maintain your integrity when you're faced with ethical dilemmas?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's not so much a desire as much as something in the person. Because I must be honest with you, how I survived those years of lack, and I did not resort to. I could have lied. I could have lied to Brian. I could have lied to Rebecca. I could have said one of my kids, was in the hospital. They'll probably send me $500 or maybe, 1,000. I know Rebecca could have done that. And the thought crossed my mind a couple of times, but I won't do that. So the thing is that I must tell you the way because I don't, it's important for me, to be true, to be authentic, because I don't want people in the audience listening, to have to get the impression that I'm trying to send the message that I'm like a saint. I'm not a saint. I'm just a human being. It's just the way that I am wired. It's just the way that I am made, and then when you aspire for inculcating a particular principle, quality, or virtue, it becomes very important to you, no matter what the situation is. So a lot of opportunities came. I had a couple of young men that came to me several times. They wanted me to build, the duplicate of a bank website so that they can use it for scam. Another set came, they wanted me to do the driver's license for California for something. And these are young people all around me, but they knew how good I was in computing. And then another set came, they wanted me to get the account number of a friend. So the thing is that I think it has to do, because I don't want to come across as if it's easy. It is not. Particularly, it's easy to be good or to give when you have extra. And extra is relative for all of us, so it's easy to give. But you remember in the Bible, and I'm using the Bible now as purely a historical source, not as a religious source, purely historical. The widow's mite from that lady, other people came, they gave gold, they gave diamond, they gave rubies, they gave a lot of things, but she came and gave just a tiny bit. But that tiny bit was all that she had. So it's about who we are relatively. I don't want to come across as if there's something special about me, or that everybody has to have the values that I have. But it is my right to look for other people that have the same values as I do. And how I got through that period without resorting to deceiving people or scamming people, to be honest with you, I really cannot say. I just took it one day at a time. And then I know that my faith had a great deal to do with that, because I didn't want to get to a point where I would get some money, maybe by scamming someone. And then once I'm comfortable, maybe even people make a lot of money doing scams. They end up buying buildings over here. We know them, we see them. They're in, SUVs and all of that. But what always occurred to me was that I don't want a situation where I'm living in that kind of house that I got in that kind of way, driving that kind of car, and then I'm disgusted with myself. And you could have all the money in the world, and then because you know what you did to get it. And
Yeah.
then another thing is that I believe in karma
Mm.
very, very strongly. I've got kids. So what if I scam people, make a lot of money, send the kids to school, build houses, and then I go? Because everybody's going to go at some point in time. What happens to the kids spiritually? There's going to be payment in some form. That is what I believe. It might not seem educated or enlightened, but I study esoteric philosophy to a certain extent. So I mean, it's about action and reaction. You don't just do something and then you throw a pebble in the river and you expect that there will be no ripples. There would be ripples, and when they
I'm
spread
so
out,
glad you said that.
eventually they'll come. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you said that because I believe in
Thank you.
karma. And when people do something bad to other people,
Yes.
maybe for them it feels good at a time. And karma
Mhm.
hasn't gotten them. Sometimes karma doesn't come when you think they're coming. Sometimes karma
Of course.
doesn't come tomorrow or the next day, but it will come. And when it comes, it will be hard on you. And I truly believe that. And that's
Oh,
why,
oh yeah.
living with integrity sometimes, and I say that is not, it's not easy because there's so many things and so many factors in our environment that makes you question, what am I doing? What is this people doing? And sometimes it's your friends that influences you to think
Oh,
differently about your core, right? But like what Paul
yes.
said, if you know who you are as a person and what you want and what you
Mm,
believe,
mm,
nothing can
mm.
shake you. You're unshakable,
True.
right? Nothing
True.
can shake you. I will
True.
leave a job if my integrity, my moral beliefs, and I will leave a friendship in any relationship if
True.
my integrity is not intact. I will not be friends with
Yes.
anybody who scams
True.
people, who is a fake, who, runs around being the cheerleader, but then you're not even the right person, right?
True.
And
True.
sometimes people won't see it. They see it for what it is in front of them, but they don't see the intentions. And to me, everything is intentions, right? And sometimes I'm so busy doing whatever at my project that I don't see it. But
Mm.
when I see it, I will call you out on it
Awesome.
for
You,
sure, right?
yeah, yeah, I agree with you. There was something you were saying. To be honest with you, I've walked this funny life, this integrity for so long that it's not profited me. It's not profited me. You know why? Because there's just something about people, maybe people don't want to offend people, not that they don't have integrity. And then there's some people that are so skilled in deceiving others. They're wrong, and you can't put your finger on it. You can't really call people to say, okay, look at what this person did. There's some people that have a mastery of that. And then you are the right person. You are the one that has integrity. But there's a way they do it. Those kinds. Let me give you an instance. I was talking with a friend, and I had a trainee come in yesterday because I do computer training, just to supplement income. So fortunately for me, recently I got a gentleman, who wants to learn how to do graphic design. So he comes in, you know. So we were just talking. There was something I was teaching him fundamentals of art, and then we just digressed a bit because it's executive training. He's not a high school student, so it's a bit more relaxed and all that. So he told me about what happened to him where he was working. All those people that will come to the office, instead of going to their workstation, sitting down and getting started on the day's work, they go from office to office, socializing, and then and then they go to the MD's house at the end of during the weekends, take their family there and all of. I just want to do my work. I just want to do my work. That's what I'm
Yeah.
paid for. That's
Yeah.
why I'm here. This doesn't mean that I'm not social, but the way I live my life is that an activity has to have a purpose, it has to have value before I get excited about being involved in it. So I can be excited about an activity if it doesn't have clear value, clear purpose, a clear objective. I have people who would come to my table and tell me, "Oh, Shay, please, could you help me design this, PowerPoint presentation?" I said, "Fine, that's good." That some people would actually come. Sometimes when I go for lunch, I'd come back and actually see envelope of money under my keyboard with a note, somebody asking me to help them prepare a presentation. And then some people would approach me and ask me questions. How do you feel about this? What do you think? I'm having a problem. That makes sense to me. But
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of person that I see the MD or my superior coming and then I pretend as if I'm busy, or I quickly walk up to them to carry the bag and all of that, just so that I can neglect to do the work that I was employed for. But when it comes time for appraisal, because of some of those favors are done for the superior, then they would give me, a favorable grading. So
Yeah.
there are people like that. And that's what happened in the audio event that day.
That day was, I don't know what the heck I was doing in there, because I felt like I was a fish out of the sea. Like,
No,
literally everyone
you
was
were meant to be
everyone was,
there.
from Africa, and everyone, and
Yeah.
I looked around, I was like, CJ, you're in the wrong room. What the were you
No,
doing?
if
And I think it was meant to be, because I
it
needed to
was,
talk to you. I needed to talk to you.
it
And your
was.
passion and your love for life and your
Oh,
integrity, you're like, I don't care who's listening to me. And I was like, whoa, okay, I want that person. And the reason being is that you were so honest about yourself. And this is what I want to do is I want to talk to you. People out there don't I've done it. I've had white lies and things like that. Like, oh, CJ, can you do this project? And like, I'm so busy, even though literally I'm just walking my dog.
okay.
Like, you know what I mean? And or like, CJ, what are you doing? I'm like,
No,
oh, I'm doing something. I'm watching Netflix, right? I mean, yes, you do those things. It's a white lie. You do it all the time. And if
yes,
you say you
that was what
don't
I
say that.
said. That was
Yeah.
what I said initially because I don't want to come here and come across. That was what I said. I'm not a
Yep.
saint. I tell white lies.
Yep.
I tell white lies. Oh yeah, my kids will ask me some things. Sometimes my wife, and all. Oh no, you understand.
Yep.
But we're talking about misrepresentation of reality or facts
Yep.
that could damage the lives of other people or could
That's
hurt
right.
other people. That's
That's
what
right.
I'm talking about. I'm not talking
Yep.
about something that we do out of love, out of affection, because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings because they're good friends of ours. I
Yep.
have people like that. I'll tell you I'll work on it, and then I don't have that time. But what happens is that eventually I will find the time to do some of that work.
Yep.
Because it's telling the white lie, and then in a case where it has to do with a task, trying to make room to make sure that you deliver on that white lie to a certain extent.
Yeah. But here's what I want to ask you though. Are there any practical strategies or techniques that individuals can employ to strengthen their integrity in the face of challenges? Because I know you've been
Yes,
challenged a lot, right?
yes,
Especially your
I
integrity. We had this conversation over and over, even outside of
thank you,
LinkedIn. And so,
thank
how do
you.
you stay true to yourself? Uh, is there any practical approach or strategies, or even like look at red flags?
There is, and I will go back to what I've said before. It's about the upbringing, nature and nurture, you know, because we apart from the way a child is raised, apart from the way we are raised, some of the values that we're exposed to, we need to understand that there are certain things that we're exposed to by our parents or the people that we associate with, people that we respect a lot, that become like very important values to us that we will not compromise. So that matters. It's not just about reading about these things, because even the interest in reading up on strategies, for maintaining your integrity in the face of all odds would only come if you have, an awareness of those values. If you don't value integrity, you would not bother. You probably go and buy 48 laws, of power, Machiavelli, and you wouldn't care who you use, who everybody will be, expendable, you know, on your journey to the top, you know. But if you were brought up and you got that, you know, that moral value of not thinking of yourself alone, thinking of other people, and then not being inordinately attached to material things. You know, when you understand that material things are just utilitarian, they're just there to serve a purpose, you know. Food, you can only eat so much food. If you eat beyond a certain point, you'll be ill. You actually throw up, you know. So, I mean, I material things are important, but we need to have a sane, balanced, you know, relationship, you know, with material things. Once you have all of those things, it's easy, you know, for you to commit to staying true and with integrity, regardless of what comes. I'm telling you, I can't even tell you how I made it. You know, because sometimes when I'm working and I have some free periods, you know, a couple of seconds or minutes, and I think back on it, I don't know how I could hold my principles, you know, I stand by my principles, because things were I used to go out and look for people to beg. I was begging 50 naira, you know, I would beg for 50 naira. 50 naira is like one of the smallest denominations of money currency that we have here. I would walk sometimes. The distance that I would walk will be such that when I do get the 50 naira or 100 naira, this is someone who had worked in a bank, who was the head, you know, group head of brand communications, to then get reduced to that level. You know, so I think it has to do with our understanding of what integrity is, you know, and understanding that we would live with ourselves. Can you live with yourself after you've compromised your integrity to get your way? You know, so because you will live with yourself. Every morning you wake up, you're with you. Anywhere in the world you go, you're with you. That is the one constant, you know. And you means that unless a person has an accident and has amnesia, you can remember what you did, you know. And I think psychologically, from the little that I've read a bit about, you know, psychology, when you're walking, it even affects your posture, you know, to a certain extent. If you're someone who's compromised him or herself internally, this is what I feel, you know.
Wow. I wanted to
That's
give
my
it to people there. 50 naira, okay, Nigerian money,
oh
in US dollars, guys, is 12 cents. 12 cents,
oh
okay?
yeah,
So think
it's not
about
bad.
you all the way down to the ground begging for your family, but keeping your integrity intact. That is amazing. Now, I can't believe we're almost ending. So I'm going to ask you this last question, okay?
Okay.
If today is your last day on this earth, what would be your message to your future families? I'm talking about great, 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 great grandkids.
Oh, oh, most important thing, get an education. Very important. Education is not for you to earn a living, it's actually to transform your life. What it does is that it changes the way you see things. So what education does is that when you have it, even when you're poor, you're actually not so poor. It doesn't affect you that much, you know, because the way you see would be different. That's one. And education means that you'd be able to read books, you know, and once you're literate and you can read books, it means that you can expand your knowledge further, you know, so you can become from educated, you can become enlightened. And once you're enlightened, the energy of your life is just different. It changes. You know, it's not limited to or anchored purely on material things, which are very important, you know, because you can't touch lives unless you have some means, you know. But the thing is that if you put material things before education and enlightenment, it's like putting the cart before the horse. And that is why we have a lot of people who become wealthy and then their lives become worse than it was before they got the wealth. A lot. We have endless examples. So get an education, read extensively, read as if your life depends on it, because it does. Just read books. Charles Dickens, Agatha Christie, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Just read extensively. Beautiful books, classics, the old ones. Then be good to as many people as you can be. If you have, and the person comes to you and they ask you, if you have, you give if you can. If you cannot give as much as they ask, tell them that, okay, well, I know you asked for this much, but this is how much I have. If possible, what I do is I bring out what I have so that they can see it. I say, okay, you take this. This is what I can spare. I have kids, so I will hold on to this. But however, if something comes up before tomorrow, I'll let you know, and then I might be able to help you with the rest. But this is what I can do now. So be good to as many people as you can be. Be honest. Honesty is important, which has to do with integrity. I think if a person doesn't have integrity, it could lead to a mental illness, because you're deceiving yourself, I think, and I think the worst kind of deception is self-deception, because you can't remember all of the stories you have created. You have to keep remembering, okay, what did I tell this person that I was? What did I tell this person that I did? But if you're honest and you have integrity, you can always express yourself, and you won't see someone and then hide.
Yeah.
You have peace. So integrity, and work hard. Work hard. I say sometimes that work is the highest form of worship. Citing the Bible again, I always remember the proverb about talents. I'm citing it as purely historical source, where the master gave the 3 slaves, some talents, for them and all of that. And one went and hid it in the ground somewhere, saying that, well, the master was a very hard one, that if anything happened to the talents, when he comes back, he'll probably throw him in jail or something. And the other 2 went and traded with it. And when the master came and he saw that some of them are traded with it and they are yielded increase, he took from the one that went and hid his talent, leaving the talent idle and fallow, and gave to the one that had the most. So work won't kill you. That's one thing my mother taught me. I've always been a hard worker. I work until I can't stay awake anymore. And by the grace of God, that's how, to a certain extent, I've been able to climb to the point that I am now, and I'm still climbing. So hard work, very key. I tell my kids all the time, get that education. That's why I'm spending so much to do that. Be enlightened, read. I remember when I was younger, I would be in the room. I have 2 late brothers, 2 brothers of mine, younger ones are passed, and they would go up and down, exchanging, Game Boy cartridges in those days.
Yeah.
They would go, you swap them, you have a particular cartridge, a particular game, you want to swap with someone who has another game. But I'm inside the house and I'm reading Charles Dickens, Great Expectation, A Tale of Two Cities, and all of that, and one of them is late now, and the other one is not doing too badly, but I'm the one who's done the best of all of them, and I'm not saying that out of pride, I'm saying it out of practicality. When you read, what you're doing is you're investing in you. That's what reading does, because it expands your perspective. I've traveled all over the world just by reading.
I know. I love that. So that's when I get lonely too. When I was an only child and I would get lonely, I would read. I don't feel lonely anymore because I didn't have any brothers and sisters. So I'm reading. I'm like, oh wow, what happened to this character? And and that's what reading does for me. But today, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you. Everybody now can see that you are real. You're not fake. You're not away from the video. And now they see why I'm always talking so highly of you because I was very
Thank
moved,
you. Thank
by
you.
your integrity. And I wanted to end this and part this live today by saying that integrity refers to the quality of being honest, ethical, and having strong moral principles. It is the adherence to a
Absolutely.
set of values and principles that even when no one is watching, you're still there, right?
True.
A person
True.
with
True.
integrity acts in a manner of consistent with their beliefs and values, and they are trustworthy, reliable, and truthful in their actions and interactions with one another or with other people. But
True.
also integrity is often associated with qualities such as, like you said, honesty,
Mm.
fairness, accountability, and transparency. Okay, it
True.
involves
True.
doing the right thing even when it may be difficult or unpopular, like what you did, right? But
Yes.
individuals with integrity are known for their consistency in their words and actions, and they strive to maintain a high standard of ethical behavior. So it is
Wonderful.
essential in your various parts of your life. It's including personal relationships, professional environments, leadership positions, right? In personal
Yes.
relationships, integrity fosters trust, respect, open communication. In your workplace, it could be crucial for building a positive work culture, fostering teamwork, establishing a reliable reputation, right? In leadership, integrity is especially important as it sets an example for others to follow and help you
True.
create an atmosphere of trust. And of course, credibility is a big thing. But how do you maintain
True.
it? Maintaining integrity requires self awareness, self
Mm-hmm.
discipline, and a
Mm-hmm.
commitment to doing what is right, even when faced with challenges or temptations. It involves
True.
making ethical choices and taking responsibility for your action. A person with integrity
Yes.
is willing to admit mistakes, learn from
True.
them, and make amends when necessary. But also, it is
True.
highly valued trait in all of us, really. Organizations, society as a whole, it contributes to the development of trust, foster a positive in relationships, and promote a sense of fairness and of course justice. And I
True.
will definitely see if you're in, you have integrity and you're like, well, who the hell are you? Like, I don't care what you listen. I am a nobody, you're right, but I am somebody to somebody else, and
True.
we are somebody to somebody else, right? It's not being
Absolutely.
cocky or arrogant or anything. All I'm trying to
Mm.
do is make a cohesive community where we all
Mm.
can learn from each other. We're gonna make
True.
mistakes, we're gonna hurt some
Sure.
people, we're
Sure.
gonna probably trample some people that we're not even intentionally doing it, but know
Mm.
that the core of my heart and the core of me as a being is never to intentionally hurt anyone. That's just not who I am.
True.
Right. And
True.
if you don't see that, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I really don't. But I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you. But I wanted to say this. How miraculous can it be that me, a Nigerian, is actually on a show and the topic is integrity? That's
I
not what we're known for in
know.
Nigeria.
I know.
So I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
I
Maybe
know.
some people would see this and would really understand that even though we say it all the time, it is the truth that we're all just human beings.
Mhm.
Fathers, mothers, aunts, uncles, brothers. We have similar issues, similar struggles, same things we're dealing with, same hopes, dreams, thoughts, challenges, temptations, concerns, just the same thing. Only difference is just the national, entity that
Yeah.
we are affiliated with.
I don't actually see you even though you're in Nigeria. I know, a lot of
Yeah.
controversies like, oh, they're the number one scam people or whatever.
Yes.
See, I
Yeah.
don't see people. I do sometimes when I'm in my mode. I'm like, oh God, these people, blah blah blah. But you have to really think about that. Each individual, right? When you say, oh God, all Asians are good with math. We're not all good with math. I know some of my people are like can't even count with their toes. Okay, and they're Asians. It's not that. You have to look at people as an individual. Truly, you do, right? And whether you are a needle in a haystack. I just want you to know that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You are very
Thank you.
special. And you always have a special
Thank
place
you.
in my heart for your integrity. Bye,
I'm
everybody.
grateful.
Thank you so much for being
Bye.
here.
Thank you for coming.